I'm George Hudak, board president for Central Ohio Fire Museum here in Columbus, Ohio. And the display cases that we have right here, a lot of the items in here were donated to us from Nationwide Insurance's collection. You have some actual leather fire buckets on the bottom shelf, some older helmets, and on the top shelf we have a couple of models, several of which were scratch built. I don't have an exact date on those, but they were actually scratch built. On the right side of the display case, we have some of the early alarm devices. We have two muffin bells that were carried by the early firefighters on fire watch at night. If they spotted a fire, they would ring the bell and yell fire. And that's what got the progress started of getting the firefighters to the station. In our display case here on the right, we also have some models that were actually manufactured and sold, available to the public, about the Engraved 75th anniversary fire trucks. And then the larger, on the lower shelf, that was built by, this one was scratch built on the left side here. And then next to that one, the very large one, the Seagrave's model, that was designed and built for Seagrave, and the salesman would take that with them when they were visiting a fire department and try to make a sale on a fire truck. And that's actually the prototype of the 75th anniversary series, Seagrave.
It's beautiful.
On our top shelf, we have a model that was built by William Nickelworth. He's a retired Columbus firefighter, and that is of one of the early Seagrave ladder trucks. And the thing that you'll notice on this ladder truck is that the aerial ladder on the very top was made out of wood. And it wasn't until 1935 that Seagrave started to design and manufacture ladder trucks where the aerial ladder was actually made out of steel, and they used hydraulic cylinders to raise the aerial ladder out of the hose bed and extend it. On the top display case, that's a model of a 1965 Seagrave 100-foot aerial ladder. And again, that's one that was built here in Columbus, Ohio by Seagrave, and you can see in that one, the aerial ladder is actually made out of steel. Now the thing that's kind of interesting about this is in the back of the aerial ladder, you can see a steering wheel and a windshield, and actually you have a seat back there. That's where the firefighter that steered the back of the aerial ladder truck would actually sit. They would ride back there. When they got to the fire, they would release a couple of latches, disconnect the steering wheel, and actually swing that whole tub and seat out of the way so that they could raise the aerial ladder out of the hose bed and then actually extend the ladder to use it.
That's really cool.
Now, what we'll do, we'll kind of take a walk back here to the back portion, and you can actually see what one of those buckets looked like that actually came off of one of Columbus's ladder trucks. And this is actual one that came out of one of the early, probably 60s vintage ladder trucks that Seagrave built.
Oh, that's neat.
And you can actually see they sat back there. It doesn't look like it's much bigger than a small bathtub. So when it rained, you definitely got wet. And in the wintertime, when it snowed and it was cold, you were pretty chilly in the back portion.
Right.
But that's how you would drive and steer the back portion of a ladder truck from there.
That's amazing. And what's this picture up here about?
Okay, the picture that we have up here is a picture of an 88 Sutphen aerial tower. And the story on this, it belonged to New Haven, Connecticut. And from my understanding, that it was involved in a crash. So it was brought back to Sutphen. And what Sutphen did was they took the cab off of this truck. And then what they did was they went ahead and refurbished it and set it up like the cab that you see over here on my left. And that is used in our play area for the children. So this is actually the cab that you see on the white truck. This is that same exact cab.
Oh, that is so cool.
I can kind of give you can see the lights on it. They have the lights hooked up. And they also have some video so that you can actually hear the truck start.
Oh, that is neat.
Factory fire, 225 East Crocker, 225 East Crocker, cross street, 5th, timeout, 0110.
All right, on this other side of our fire museum, we have a Seagrave truck, a 1927 Seagrave fire truck, and it was considered to be a hose wagon, hose tender vehicle. Again, this was built in Columbus, Ohio, back in 1927. The Seagrave plant, which is, the building is still there on South High Street, below downtown and just north of 104. So the building is still there where these trucks were all built.
Very cool. This is a beautiful museum. Thank you very much, guys and girls.
You are very welcome.
So I left the Firefighter Museum and headed over to Zutphen, the fire truck manufacturer here in Columbus, Ohio. And unfortunately, they don't offer tours, but this is what I found in their front lobby. This is the front desk for the secretary.